To ensure that the Jedi Order secured its future and was carried forward by future generations of Knights and Masters, the Jedi had to first locate children who had a sufficient concentration of midichlorians, and second, to then recruit these children into the ranks of the Order. If the Jedi Order did not successfully accomplish these tasks, the Jedi would not be able to continue to bolster their membership, and the future of the Order would be in jeopardy. As someone who knows what it's like to have their friends found and then ripped away by an overarching organization promising to do good and offering a future that would build upon their legacy, I was thinking, how did the Jedi find and recruit Force-sensitive children to bring them into the Order and initiate their training as a Jedi? In this video expose, I will describe how the Jedi pursued new members by determining which newborns should be brought into the Order based upon their midichlorian samples, and explain how the Jedi would recruit these children into the Order and begin their training. Roughly 1,000 years before the events of A New Hope, following the Jedi victory in the New Sith Wars, and their incorrect belief that they completely removed the Sith from the galaxy, an event known as the Ruusan Reformation took place directly after the war, and ushered in a new era for the Jedi Order, with significant modification and standardization. In addition to a number of other important changes, such as a focus on demilitarization, the Order implemented an age restriction on new members. Going forward, all new initiates brought into the Order were restricted to infants and very young children. Due to this new age restriction on prospective members, the Order had to become more proactive in their recruitment practices. As such, the Jedi formed the Acquisition Division as a necessity to their practice of only allowing infants and very young children into the Order. To assist the Acquisition Division, the Galactic Republic passed a law that required all Republic member planets to test the Force sensitivity of all newborns upon their birth. This law, like the Acquisition Division itself, was also a necessity, as it would have been impossible for the Jedi Order to test every newborn in the galaxy themselves in order to locate Force-sensitive children. Therefore, to help the Jedi find new members, all newborns on Republic worlds underwent mandatory blood testing to find children who had a significant concentration of midichlorians. If a high percentage of midichlorians were found within a child, the results were sent to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This information pertaining to the potential new recruit was then recorded within a Kyber memory crystal, the database of the Acquisition Division. The Kyber memory crystal was a diamond-shaped blue crystal that contained the list of identities of every Force-sensitive child known within the galaxy. To access the information within the crystal, it had to be placed within a Jedi holocron, which then could only be opened through the use of the Force by a Jedi. Clearly, because the memory crystal contained information that would allow for the next generation of Jedi to come into the Order and be trained, the crystal held significant value for the Jedi, and was vitally important. In many ways, the Kyber memory crystal literally held the future of the Jedi Order. Further, the work of the Acquisition Division could not be completed without the information contained within the memory crystal. If Force sensitivity was tested and determined by Republic member worlds themselves, and then the identities of those children who were found to have a high level of midichlorians were forwarded to the Jedi Temple, what was the role of the Acquisition Division in the process of bringing new members into the Order? The Acquisition Division was responsible for bringing the children determined to be Force-sensitive to the Jedi Temple through the use of Jedi recruiters. Using the information that was recorded within the Kyber memory crystal pertaining to the identities of Force-sensitive children in the galaxy, the recruiters had the task of tracking down these potential new recruits, acquire them from their families or guardians, and take them back to the Jedi Temple, where they would begin their training as a Jedi. A specialized field of study, Jedi recruiters were primarily comprised of retired Jedi investigators, who were able to apply their tracking and detection skills to their tasks as recruiters in locating Force-sensitive recruits. All recruiters in operation under the Acquisition Division performed their duties in a uniform manner, as following the Ruusan Reformation, like many other areas of the Jedi Order, their tasks were codified and the rules that guided their actions were enforced by the High Council. Throughout the history of the Jedi Order, the Jedi recruiters were one of the most detested and disliked members of the Order. These recruiters and their duties significantly influenced the growth of anti-Jedi inclinations that would appear within the Republic from time to time, including in the waning years of the Old Republic. The source of the unpopularity and disapproval of the recruiters came not just from the fact that they removed Force-sensitive children from their homes and families, albeit with the permission of the parents, but also from the fact that the Jedi had the legal authority to take custody of all Force-sensitive children, whether they had the permission from the family to do so or not. Therefore, because they could take one's child to train them as a Jedi on Coruscant, despite whatever objections were made, citizens of the Galactic Republic came to loathe the Jedi recruiters, and even developed general anti-Jedi sentiments based upon their duties and actions. But if you ask me, it isn't too surprising to see the rise of anti-Jedi beliefs in these situations. When a seemingly monolithic organization takes something, or someone, that another individual cares about and changes it, you're always bound to get some pushback, even where there's the greatest and most positive of intentions. In fact, it seems only natural that someone would eventually appear to try to feed off of these beliefs, and reorganize the situation into one that they desire. And in some other cases, hypothetically speaking of course, these actions may push someone to never forget what they've lost, and they just might dedicate their lives to saving their friends so that they can once again make their return back into the canon, where they belong. So there we have it, how the Jedi found and recruited Force-sensitive children into the Order and allowed for the next generation of Jedi to be trained. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me, for that's the spirit.